name's Mike Anello, and I'm a former walk-on at Notre Dame. And I'm creating a video blog right now, kind of going to chronicle basically the summer of my junior year and take you on through there, just telling you the story of how I started to play here at Notre Dame. And the idea for this video blog was to help raise money for a child's organization called St. Baldrick's, which helps fund research grants for children's cancer. St. Baldrick's was started by three friends about 10 years ago when they turned their industry's St. Patrick's Day party into a benefit for children with cancer. It's since grown to fund more in childhood research grants than any other organization except the United States government. Last year we were able to gather together over 140 men and some women in there to shave their heads. We were able to raise over $26,000, and this year we're hoping to bring it into hopefully over $50,000. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and it's going to be, when we actually shave our heads, is going to be the week leading up to the Blue Gold game, which is April 24th. And I got involved last year. This was the first year was last year, and I got involved when the girl who was head of it, Catherine Soler, contacted me and just said, hey, you know, it'd be great if we can get some Notre Dame football guys out to come and shave their heads and just interact with the kids. It'd mean a lot to them. And I'll tell you what, all the guys that were there for it just really appreciated it, and we're trying to get it even bigger this year, so it should be a lot of fun. I have a link on my blog where you can go, and basically what I'm trying to do is I figured if I can just get 100 people to go and donate $10 to St. Baldrick's, that would be $1,000 more that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And so if you just follow the link on my blog to donate to St. Baldrick's, we can kind of keep an eye, or we can kind of keep tabs on how much we've generated Notre Dame itself to give to St. Baldrick's. The basic setup of this is just going to be, I'm going to kind of tell the stories, just how they unfolded, and just some of the fun things that, some of the behind the scene things that you guys don't really get a chance to see, and just, you know, share my stories because it's just been absolutely incredible for me. And then I'm also going to include a bunch of pictures and eventually clips as we get into the games, so that you don't have to stare at this mug the entire time. A little bit about myself. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, south suburbs, Orland Park. I have two older brothers, Nick and Chris, and they've just been tremendous mentors for me. Nick scored the game-winning goal in the state championship his senior year in our high school, and Chris was a 145-pound center at our high school, which was in the biggest division for football, and he ended up starting his senior year at center, which was a big accomplishment for him. So I've always had those two to look up to, and they've always watched out for me and really helped me along the way and really helped build me into the person I am today. And I have two great parents, Andy and Sue, who have always been in my corner and really, again, have made me the success that I have been today. As far as high school sports go, I came in, wrestling was my main sport. I ended up going out for the football team my sophomore year, and at the end of the season, the coach put his arm around me and said, Mike, you know what, if you were 15 pounds heavier and a couple inches taller, you know, you would have been an every down player, but unfortunately you weren't. And I'll never forget that moment. I can still picture it in my head. And so my junior year, I said, you know what, I should focus on wrestling and really give that my all. But senior year came around, and I just said to myself, you know, I want to get back out there with all my best friends and play the last year with them. Ended up turning out well. I ended up playing corner all year and just having a great time and quite a memorable season. I'll never forget that time with all my best friends. And then the winter time was wrestling season. I ended up finishing third in the state then, and our team ended up winning it. And we ended up finishing number 3 overall in the nation, so that was a lot of fun as well. And after the season was over, I was kind of deciding between Illinois and Notre Dame, and it was purely academic reasons. And I remember coming to visit Notre Dame, and it was in mid-April, and we had decided by the 1st of May where we were going to go. And I was pretty set on going to University of Illinois, and I was walking through Dillon Hall, and one of the janitors stopped me, and we just had a 2-minute conversation. But I remember walking away from that conversation and just thinking, you know, the way the students must treat everyone here, and just this conversation really represents what this community is all about. And from then on, it was Notre Dame, no question. And so once I decided on Notre Dame, I remember sitting in the morning with my football coach, just talking to him, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try walking on a Notre Dame football team. And at worst, I don't make it, but I kept myself in shape for another 8 months. And at best, you know, I make it, and we see what happens from there. And so that's kind of how everything started for me, and how basically the dream began. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and as I said, if you enjoy this and you have the ability to, I'd really appreciate it if you could go to the link on my blog and donate to St. Baldrick's. It's really a special organization, and the kids that came out last year just had the biggest smiles on their faces, and I give them credit because they're going through tough times. And anytime I was struggling, I thought of them and the struggles that they have, and they're tremendous kids. So thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys enjoy. Take care.